back. So after the research stage, I further planned to design the project for my RISE third cohort. Keeping in mind the knowledge and information I had for the cerebral and myocardial ischemia, I wanted to transfer it in the people around me in a more feasible and accessible manner. Because while researching, I was looking for a platform where I could have compiled information about cerebral and myocardial ischemia. And after not finding any, I decided to make one of my own. I decided to name it as Park Ischemia. At first, I wanted to make a mobile app. But even if I have made it in Flutter, it would have cost me greater than my budget to publish it on App Store and Play Store. So I decided to make a web application instead. I decided to make brief explainers on both cerebral myocardial ischemia in English and Urdu language so that it's easy for the locals to understand it as well. Thereafter, I wanted to elaborate it in more detail, and for that, I decided to do Urdu translation of Ninja Nerd's lecture on cerebral and myocardial ischemia. But I couldn't have the consent for it from his team. Then I shifted my focus towards a greater idea by making it very easy and entertaining to gain knowledge regarding causes, symptoms, diagnosis, and treatment of both cerebral and myocardial ischemia. We know about complex scientific phenomena like space, time, traveling, dimensions, relativity, and all that stuff. Special thanks to Marvel and DC. Made these knowledge engaging to learn in the form of entertainment rather than having them stored in a book or an online lesson. Likewise, new generation knows half of the preschool syllabus before going to school. Special thanks to the YouTube channels who are teaching them poems, alphabet, and numbers in a more engaging and entertaining way. I also decided to provide the awareness to my audience in the form of animation cartoons so that it's entertaining and informative for the audience at the same time. Then my next concern was to give my users more of the biological and technical information, or you can say more in-depth knowledge of symptoms, causes, diagnosis, and treatment of both these diseases. And for that, I decided to make guidebooks on both the diseases. I made them available for free on my platform digitally, and I've also made 20 physical copies of both the guidebooks on cerebral myocardial ischemia so that I can make them available in the public libraries from where people can read them as well. After this, I was done with the awareness chapter, but I also wanted to provide services to my users. So I also built the See a Doc page from where I gave access to my users to choose from 120 different hospitals, a doctor of their choice, for their cerebral and myocardial ischemia case. Just go, decide the date, and book the doctor of your choice. Boom. Instead, I decided to provide my users with a function to calculate their heart's health 10-year projection. They will have to fill a form, submit it, and I'll get their Gmail and contact number from where I can connect with them in the future as well. And then we'll open a corridor where putting the required fields you can get your heart's health 10-year projection. And at last, I decided to make a feedback page from where the people can tell me that how can I improve my platform and what they think about it. Next to it, I have also planned to conduct a seminar in a school to give the students awareness regarding cerebral and myocardial ischemia and to tell them regarding my platform as well. I've also designed a flex for the pictorial understanding of it as well. So summarizing my design and plan in total, I have planned to build a web app with loaded features, do a seminar and planning to do more in the future, provide my guidebooks in 10 biggest public libraries of my city. So we are done with the design and plan of my project. So how I executed my project, you will be seeing it in my act